The expertise system can be extremely overwhelming, especially if you're a new player trying to figure things out. For starters, you may have a ton of questions like, how does the expertise system work? And what is the fastest way to level it up? Or is expertise even worth the grind in the first place? Well, it is worth the grind, and these are all valid questions that I will be answering for you guys in this video. Also, there is one simple method of increasing your expertise level that basically skips all of the grind, and that requires you to donate a special kind of resource. And I'll touch more on that later in the video once I give you more context on the expertise system so you can better understand. So if you're a new or returning player still trying to wrap your head around the expertise system, you may find this video helpful. And for all of you who may already know how the expertise system works and may already know the best ways to level it up, I encourage you to stick around, as you might get some value from this video and discover something new. So without further ado, let's get started. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be showing you guys some fast ways to level up your overall expertise, because the problem here is that and I actually have a couple videos out explaining this, but the problem is that there is so much confusion around the expertise system that it's very easy to go about this yourself and waste a great deal of time trying to level it up. Because leveling up your expertise fast will require some sort of strategy. And if you don't have any clue what you're doing, it may seem very daunting. So for those who are new or returning and don't know, let me give you some sort of context so that when I explain how to level it up, this will avoid a lot of confusion since you'll have a better understanding, right? Because it's important that you have at least some basic understanding of the expertise system. So if I open up the menu, go into my inventory, hit the tinkering station, and to my right, hit expertise, that'll bring me to this section, and here is where you can track your expertise leveling progress. So you have a display of your overall expertise level on your left, right? So here's the thing, in order to get this expertise level rank higher, you will basically need to become proficient with all of this. So all of this, including the weapons, named and exotic gears, skills, brand set pieces, so on and so forth. And the great thing is that you don't need to max out the proficiency of an item in order for your expertise level to increase. That's not necessary. In fact, each item has its own proficiency progress meter, which caps at 10. So each time you level this meter up, so if I go from rank 1 to 2, for example, then it will count as a point towards your expertise level. In addition, once you get a certain amount of points, you will reach the next level. So for example, in my case, I only need 26 more points to hit 90 and reach expertise level 26, which is the current max level expertise. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about some of the fastest methods to start leveling expertise level, and these methods will vary in effectiveness depending on what your current level is. So I'm going to explain what you can do if you're at expertise level 0. So what I highly recommend you do if you're currently between 0 to 5 expertise is to run the countdown mission, and for your targeted loot, select assault rifles. I'll tell you why we are selecting assault rifles in just a second, but make sure to run countdown on challenging so that you clear it a lot quicker, because we're trying to level this expertise up as fast as possible. Nobody has time for heroic, right? So now, as you're clearing countdown, you will be getting a ton of assault rifle targeted loot drops, as well as other items that you can mark as junk and donate towards your expertise level. And this can easily be done from your inventory by navigating to the expertise menu from the tinkering station. Then from here, you can simply hold square if you're on console to donate all junk. Just make sure that you have all of the items you want to donate marked as junk, and after doing that, you should see your points increase. Donating is just one of the many ways to level up your expertise, but it's highly effective for anyone starting from 0. So feel free to rinse and repeat this method until you start seeing more assault rifle duplicates. Then, after that, move on to the next largest weapon category. So don't worry about fully completing a weapon category before moving on to the next. Because remember, all you need to do to level up your expertise level is to level the proficiency rank of various items. And each time you do, you get a point. Now, my level 26 requirement is 90 points, but yours may be 200 or 180, depending on what expertise level you're at. But again, every time you reach that number of points, you level up your expertise. And the reason I told you to start with assault rifles first is because it's the largest weapon category. The assault rifle category has 43 unique weapons. And for those of you who don't know, you can donate resources toward the proficiency rank of any item. So not only can you donate gear and weapons, but you can donate resources as well. So carbon fiber, electronics, ceramics, so on and so forth, and I'll show you the best way to do that in just a moment. So now, once you've leveled up the proficiency rank on most of the assault rifles, and you get to a point where you're getting a lot of duplicate assault rifles that you don't need, you can either start working on your brands or gear sets. Or you can keep working on the weapons but start with a different category, like SMGs for instance. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but you can also level the proficiency of any item simply by having it equipped. So when you clear any endgame activity and get XP, you will also be getting XP toward the proficiency level of the items you have equipped. So what you can do is continue running countdown, and let's say you decided to start with your brand sets, and let's say we want to start with the Electric brand set. Start up countdown and select the Electric brand set as your targeted loot. Now, once you start getting the Electric brand set pieces to drop for you, you can either start equipping them, and once you have a full set of it, mark the excess pieces that you get as junk to donate toward your expertise level. And if you're worried about not having enough damage and it affecting your group, then you can either just keep your normal PvE build on and just mark and donate all the pieces you get as junk toward your expertise, which will take way longer, or just have at least one piece of the brand set equipped, which will still take a bit of time. But it's faster just wearing all 6 pieces of the brand set, because the more pieces you have of the set you are trying to level, the more XP you will get, and the faster you will become proficient with it. And that's why I recommend doing countdown on challenging rather than heroic. That way it shouldn't be a hassle clearing the mission. But once you're mostly done with your weapons, brands, and gear sets, things will get tricky and you will need a different strategy. When you get to this point, it helps to have a high watch level and a crap ton of credits, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But what you want to do for the name pieces is visit all the settlements on the map. So there should be 4 in Washington, the White House, campus, theater, and castle, and 1 in New York, which is the Haven settlement. And at each of these settlements is a vendor selling a random name piece. This can be a named weapon or gear, but what you want to do is purchase this named item and donate it as junk to increase your expertise level. And for reference, it takes 20 donations if you're at 0 to reach max proficiency of any given named item. Now, if you happen to be a DZ resource millionaire, you can even visit any of the 3 Dark Zone vendors just outside the main entrance and purchase any of the name items they are selling. However, this is super expensive and I wouldn't recommend it. Okay guys, so now I wanted to talk about this last method, which is by far the best way to level up your expertise, and I know a lot of you veteran players may already know this, but again, I'm mainly helping the new and returning players with this video. And this method will require you to have a high watch level. Well, having a high watch level isn't so much of a requirement, but it will definitely increase the effectiveness of this method, making it extremely worthwhile. And if you need a fast watch level XP farming method, I have another video explaining some fast ways of leveling your watch. So if you're interested, you can check that out. It will be the second link in the description. So for those who don't know, here's how this method works. You will first need to create another character and get to level 40, which is super fast and easy to do now, by the way, because now you can actually fast travel back to Washington and have your friends power level you, whereas before you weren't able to do that and would be stuck in New York until you reach level 40. And once you reach level 40, you will need to speak to Inaya Al-Khaliq at the White House to claim your shared resources. After that, you should be able to use the excess watch points from your main character. So once you have your excess points and you've made it this far, I'm going to explain what you can do to start increasing your expertise level. So you can either use your points to buy printer filaments that you can use to donate, since it's the cheapest material resource to donate. Or if you want to be cost efficient, you can use your points to buy credits that you can then use to buy gear or skill mods at any vendor to deconstruct and collect printer filaments. Yeah, more time consuming but more cost efficient, so pick your poison. If you have more time to spare and your watch level is low, then use your points to buy credits, then use those credits to buy mods at any vendor, and finally, deconstruct those mods to get printer filaments. Deconstructing mods will yield more printer filaments, so you will be getting more out of your points, which is why this is more cost efficient. So you will get more printer filaments out of this by using your credits to buy mods to deconstruct. So if you happen to have a crap ton of credits, then you are in a good position. If you have a high watch level, you can save a lot of time by just buying a ton of credits and buying gear or skill mods to deconstruct and get printer filaments. Printer filaments are the best resource to donate because it's a lot cheaper than the other resources. But anyway, this is Prajna. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to slash the like button, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and see you in the next video. Peace out.